Good evening. My name is Dan Gottschalk, Agriculture Education Class of 1971. I am the Academic Advisor for Agricultural Education students and a member of the Department of Youth Development and Agricultural Education, and it's my privilege to serve with Jerry as one of the hosts for this event. I wish to add my welcome and my appreciation for your attendance and participation in our Centennial celebration. We've invited a few of our alumni, and those of you who are speaking, it's time for you to start to get nervous because I'm getting ready to introduce you. Some of you I need to get even with. Now let me first of all say it's a real privilege to be here. I think I have the best part of the program because I get to introduce those people that I admire and respect. Those who fill the agricultural science and business classrooms all across the state of Indiana, those who have done that for a lifetime and retired, and those from that group of people come my heroes and those that I admire and those who've had a great influence on my life. And we've invited a few of those people to share their thoughts about the era in which they served as agricultural science and business teachers. Our first era speaker is very special to me. Is Bill McVay. In 1953, when Bill McVay, and Bill, would you start this way? In 1953, when Bill McVay graduated from Purdue University in agricultural education, the average cost of a new car was $1,650, and gasoline was 20 cents a gallon. The average price of a new home was $9,550, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average was at a high of 281. The average wage was $4,200 per year. In 1953, colored televisions were first introduced, and the cost of that television was $1,175. When converted to today's dollars, that TV would have cost $7,781. Postage stamps cost 3 cents in 1953. Our first era speaker to share with us is Mr. Bill McVay. Help me welcome him, would you please?
What a privilege. Thank you very much. It's always a privilege for me to talk about teaching agriculture. Today I'm going to talk about 3 things. As some of you might question, I didn't start teaching in 1912. My first experience with agriculture was, in those days, vocational agriculture, was at Camden High School in the fall of 1945. One of my several teachers was H.J. Eastman. I had ag for 4 years, but he had me for 2 years. He, like a lot of you have the experience, he was the guy who was responsible for me coming to study agriculture at Purdue. I graduated from Camden High School. Today's classrooms is considerably different than mine. I remember when I came back to get my master's, my major professor was Sam Cromer, a wonderful, wonderful person. I remember my first teaching class was the first week of student teaching under Leon Alder at Columbia City. In those days, we went out 2 teachers to a department for 4 weeks. I was never in front of a class until I had that experience. And Dean, my first unit was marketing livestock. I remember it very well. My first full-time teaching job was in Whitley County in Washington Township. Professor Harry Leonard, whose picture appeared up here, was my mentor and was, if I had any success as a teacher, it was because of Professor Leonard. He came to see me and spent a whole day with me in August of that year, or late July. He said I needed a vocational ag advisory committee. He gave me how to do it. I went to see a farmer and real estate man on an August evening, he and his family were eating watermelon on the back porch. He said to me, "Oh, come in and meet our daughter." She's going to be a senior at IU. Well, 22 months later, Marilyn and I were married. Those who know me well know that I had some success as a judging team coach. I'd like to tell an incident that happened in July 1965, and the reason I can remember that, is because of the incident that happened. I had a team going to state contest in livestock judging. Dan Gottschalk was a member of that team. And this is an honest to God truth. I'm not making it up. So I took the team to the expert swine school at Purdue in July of that year. And Dan and I were comparing notes on a class before the official placing was given. And Dan and I had it exactly backwards from each other. And I said, "Dan, this is the kind of class you're going to have at the state contest. You got to place it like I did, not like you did." Guess who was right? Dan was right and I was wrong. But the coach and the team learned their lesson because they were the champion livestock judging team in 1965. 3 guys on that team came to Purdue and got a degree in agriculture. The young man who gave the invocation this evening is another one of my students. He was on the champion livestock team from 1968. I'm going to talk a little bit now about teaching agriculture in the late 40s and early 50s. In those years, most teachers were in a small township school like I started in, 6 by 6. The boss was a township trustee. I had 3 classes of ag, 1 class in biology, a class in general science, was the basketball timer or scorekeeper, was a class sponsor, and was a 4-H leader in the summer. Not every chapter had a FFA chapter then, Coleman, and those that did, it kind of took a backseat to 4-H. But that suited me fine, because but I did all those things, and I courted Miss Marilyn. One of the things that you older teachers will remember was the notorious Form B80. That was a form that we had to fill out the 1st of December every year, and we had to list every student. We had to list their productive livestock or crop projects because it was the gold of ag teaching in the 40s and 50s to make farmers out of everybody. We would list their productive projects, and then a year from the following February 1st, we would fill out a report on that. We had to have the total production, the gross value, the net value, percent income to the student. So that was called supervised farm practice. When I was in high school, the only science teacher we had was the ag teacher. And that's why a lot of them taught chemistry and physics. As I said, the objective was to make farmers out of all of them. Most ag teachers had a 12-month contract. One of the greatest educational bills in the history of mankind, besides the Morrill Act, was the GI Bill. I don't know whether you are aware of it or not, but ag education played a very important part in that. I didn't do it, but a lot of my peers did. After World War II, under the GI Bill, They taught agricultural education to veterans, helped them get started in farming or helped them improve it. A great, great program. This evening, I kind of feel like Lou Gehrig did when he gave his retiring address at Yankee Stadium in the late 1930s. If you recall in the movie, Damn Yankees, no, not Damn Yankees, Pride of Yankees. I got a little editorial there. That's quite he said, "Today, I am the luckiest man in the world," because he got to play with the Yankees. "Today, I'm the luckiest man in the world because I got to do my passion, which was teaching young people how to improve their lives. And I loved every minute of it." Agri-education has improved a great deal, as you will hear today. We no longer teach just for farming, we teach for ag business. When I was in college, I read a research paper. I think the research was done at the University of Illinois, that said that the students that they studied in college who had had vocational agriculture in high school, besides their parents, the most influential person in their life, in their vocational selection choice, was their ag teacher. So I read recently in Time magazine that by the year 2018, 63% of all jobs in the United States will require some post-secondary education. I'm very happy that I have had over 100 of my former students did that. Some of them only came to the Purdue short course. Some of them have got their PhDs or MDs or DVMs. So therefore, I challenge any current ag teachers in here, because of the special relationship that you have with your students, with your work as classroom teachers, as FFA advisors, visiting in their home, sitting around the kitchen table with their parents talking about setting goals, that you encourage them to go on to college. Not necessarily Purdue University, but some kind of post-secondary education. God bless you all, and thank you. I've enjoyed it a great deal. Thank you.